You know the feeling, the silence, the distance, the deep, gut-wrenching confusion that has you wondering if you made it all up. You've questioned your sanity, replayed every moment, and waited in a kind of limbo, feeling suspended between worlds. But what if his silence isn't a void? What if it's the quiet before the storm of realization? What if that distance was a journey he had to take alone, not to find his way to you, but to find his way back to himself? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the divine masculine's often misunderstood journey. We'll explore that profound internal aha moment, when the resistance and soul-searching finally click into place, and he gets it. This isn't just about him changing his mind. Within the spiritual framework of twin flames, this is seen as a complete reboot of his soul. Before we get into it, let's be clear about what we're discussing. The ideas of twin flames, divine masculine, and divine feminine come from a spiritual belief system. They aren't scientifically proven, but they offer a powerful way to understand some of the most intense and transformative relationships we can experience. Think of them as energetic archetypes, not strict gender roles. The aha moment we're exploring is a core part of this story, a sacred turning point in a journey of soul remembrance, as told by countless people on this path. The Great Unraveling, his world before the aha moment. To really get how huge the aha moment is, you have to understand the world the divine masculine was living in before. On the outside, his life probably looked fine, maybe even great. In the twin flame story, the divine masculine is often deeply plugged into the material world. He's driven by his career, by what society expects of him, and by a need for logical, tangible achievements. He might have been the provider, the leader, the guy who built his identity on what he could see and control. To him, love was likely a practical choice, a partnership based on compatibility, not some wild call of destiny. Then, he met you. And it's often described as less of a meeting and more of a collision. It wasn't just attraction. It was a feeling of recognition. For the first time, he felt a pull so magnetic it blew past all his logic and shook the foundation of his carefully built world. He looked at you and, on a level he couldn't possibly explain, felt like he was home. But that feeling of home was also completely terrifying. This is where that infamous runner dynamic often kicks in. It's helpful to reframe what's happening here. According to these spiritual teachings, his running isn't a rejection of you. It's a flight from himself. As his counterpart, you are his perfect mirror. In your eyes, he didn't just see you. He saw his own soul. And that reflection showed him everything. Not just his highest potential, but also his deepest wounds, his traumas, and all the parts of himself he'd pushed down. For someone who isn't ready to face themselves, that is the scariest thing in the world. So, he ran. He tried to rationalize it all away, calling it a fantasy or an unhealthy obsession. He built a fortress of denial to protect his ego from the fire this connection ignited. His emotional walls went up, reinforced by a lifetime of being told that vulnerability is weakness. He was stuck in his head, where connection this deep just didn't make any sense. But here's the secret. Even while he was running, the preparation was happening. Many believe the divine masculine's awakening is intentionally delayed, following a timeline that's unique for each pair. Every moment of confusion, every time he pushed you away, was part of a larger, unconscious unraveling. His soul was being primed, even as his mind fought it tooth and nail. The catalyst. What makes it all click? The divine masculine's aha moment doesn't just happen out of the blue. These spiritual narratives tell us it's almost always sparked by a powerful catalyst, or a series of them, that finally shatters his defenses and forces him to look inward. Catalyst number 1. The divine feminine's energy shift. This might be the most powerful catalyst of all. For a long time, the dynamic may have been a chase. The divine feminine, knowingly or not, was sending him energy, thinking of him, and pouring her love into the connection. But then, she reaches a point in her own journey where she realizes her own peace comes first. She stops chasing. She pulls her energy back, not to punish him, but as an act of radical self-love. She turns inward, heals her own life, and finds wholeness all by herself. This creates a vacuum. The divine masculine, who is unconsciously feeding off her energy, suddenly feels the emptiness. The silence is no longer just distance. It's deafening. Her absence becomes a presence he can't escape. He's left alone with his own feelings and his own chaos, and he can no longer blame the intensity on her. He has to face the real source of the turmoil, himself, the dark night of the soul. Often, right around the time the divine feminine pulls back, he enters a period of intense crisis, often called the dark night of the soul. The world he built with logic and ego starts to fall apart. The career that defined him feels empty. The relationships he used as distractions feel shallow. The success he chased doesn't bring him any real peace. Everything he used to numb that deep, nagging feeling of longing for his counterpart just stops working. This stage is filled with restlessness, confusion, and a profound sense of dissatisfaction. In this spiritual view, it's as if life itself is stripping away everything that isn't aligned with his soul's true purpose. It's the breakdown that has to happen before the breakthrough. Catalyst number 3. Signs from the universe. As his outer world crumbles, it's believed the universe turns up the volume on its messages. He starts seeing signs and synchronicities he just can't ignore. Repeating numbers like 1111, hearing that song in the most random places, or running into people who mention your name. These are seen as divinely timed nudges designed to break through his logical mind. His soul is tapping him on the shoulder, reminding him of a truth he fought so hard to forget. His dreams about you might become incredibly vivid, feeling more real than his waking life. At first, the signs might just confuse him. But as the noise of his ego starts to fade, they begin to feel like a guide. The aha moment. 5 life-changing realizations. When these catalysts all come together, the walls finally come down. This isn't just one thought. It's a cascade of deep realizations that land squarely in his heart. It's a quiet, internal shift, but it changes everything. Realization number 1. It's not just a connection. It's the connection. First, his whole perspective shifts. He stops seeing you as an intense crush or a complicated affair. A deep, unshakable knowing settles in. He might not have the words twin flame, but he finally gets the sacred, unique, once-in-a-lifetime nature of your bond. He sees his past relationships for what they were, lessons and stepping stones, all leading him here. The feeling is no longer just intense. It's a feeling of truth. The connection is no longer a problem to be solved. It's a truth to be honored. Realization number 2. I wasn't running from you. I was running from me. This is the moment of total self-accountability. He stops blaming you for the intensity. He stops blaming his job or his timing. He finally sees with painful clarity that he was running from the reflection of his own soul. He realizes your presence lit up every unhealed wound, every fear of being vulnerable, every insecurity he'd tried to bury. His fear of the connection was really a fear of his own power and his own heart. The chaos he felt was a war inside himself, not a war between you two. This often brings a wave of remorse for the pain his fear caused. Realization number 3. My old life is a cage. That vague emptiness he felt for years suddenly has a name: misalignment. He realizes the life he so carefully built, based on ego, fear, or what others wanted, isn't a sanctuary, it's a cage. He sees how it has been keeping him from his authentic self and, because of that, from the authentic connection you share. This isn't just a passing thought. It's a deep, cellular rejection of everything fake in his life. It lights a fire in him to live with purpose and integrity. He doesn't just want to succeed anymore. He wants to be fulfilled. Realization number 4. Her silence was her strength. His view of your journey changes completely. Where he once might have seen your waiting as neediness or your pulling back as a game, he now sees it with awe and respect. He understands that you turning inward, choosing yourself, and healing your own heart wasn't about rejecting him. It was an act of incredible strength. He gets that you weren't just waiting around for him. You were becoming whole for yourself. This replaces any ego games with a deep reverence for you. The dynamic is no longer runner and chaser. It's two sovereign souls on their own paths of healing. Realization number 5. Union isn't a trophy to be won. This is the final, most important piece. He finally understands he can't come to you as a broken person, hoping you'll fix him. He gets that a harmonious union isn't a prize at the end of a painful chase. Real, lasting union is only possible after he finds union within himself. It's about healing his own wounds and balancing his own inner energies. The desperate need for the connection is replaced by a quiet desire to be worthy of it. He understands the real work is internal, and the reunion he craved will simply be a natural reflection of the healing done within both of you, the aftermath, how everything changes. This profound inner shift inevitably changes the entire dynamic. This isn't about a fairy tale ending, it's about a real, authentic new beginning. Vulnerability and honesty, the masks fall away. Having faced his own demons, he's no longer terrified of being vulnerable. He becomes able and willing to express his feelings honestly. He might reach out to apologize, not with excuses, but with real remorse and understanding. The games and the push-pull disappear, replaced by a genuine desire for clear, heartfelt communication. Purposeful action. The running stops. For good. His energy is no longer all over the place. It becomes grounded and purposeful. Instead of running from a future with you, he may start taking real, tangible steps to build one. This isn't rushed or desperate. It's a calm, deliberate movement that comes from a place of clarity and commitment. A rebalancing of energy. As he heals himself, the push-pull dynamic that defined the separation naturally fades. The connection stops being a source of drama and becomes a sanctuary of mutual support and co-creation. Both partners can finally operate from a place of wholeness, mirroring each other's strengths instead of each other's wounds. And remember, divine masculine and divine feminine are energetic principles, not gender roles. We all have both energies, and this journey is ultimately about bringing them into balance within ourselves. This journey can feel incredibly profound and at times very lonely. But you aren't alone in this. Which part of this story resonates with you the most? Have you felt this kind of shift in your own connection? Or are you holding space for it to happen? Please share your story in the comments below. Your experience is a powerful part of this whole awakening and could be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if this message brought you some clarity or peace, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing for more explorations into the spiritual journey. The Divine Masculine's aha moment is so much more than him finally seeing the light. Within this spiritual narrative, it's a sacred process of a soul breaking down to be reborn. It's a testament to the belief that this connection is alive and always working in the background, guided by a timing we can't control. If you're the one who has been holding space, know this. Your journey into self-love was the very lighthouse that guided him home to himself. Your commitment to your own healing created the space for him to begin his. The ultimate union has always been the one you build within your own heart. The external reunion, whatever form it takes, is simply a beautiful reflection of that inner peace. Continue to trust your intuition, honor your own unique path, and remember that the deepest love isn't about finding your other half, but about becoming whole yourself.